Rolling?
Rolling.
Alright, foliar feeding today. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why foliar feeding is important. We got the Hagie STS-12 120-foot stick. Today we're running PT21, Score, and Grozyme with some fungicide. And foliar feeding is extremely important. One, because you got to drive roots. You hear me talk about a lot of roots with cover crops, but you can grow a lot of roots with your cash crops too, and you can leverage your cash crop roots and all the energy that you've got in those cash crops. Whoa, boy. Hang on to this. This is fun. This is a tie line. Oh, boy. Come here. Don't hit the catch basin while you're driving through, and then don't break your sprayer boom either. Anyway, running in about 10 mile an hour in about 10-foot tall corn. Anyway, number 1 reason why you should foliar feed: an effective foliar that actually gets into the cellular level of the plant drives more roots. And when you have more roots, you can capture more of the nutrients that are available in your soil. Number two reason why you should foliar feed, and this is going to be very specific to the Ag Spectrum Maximum Farming products, is that the use of Score, one of the many benefits of Score, is that Score is very high in calcium. And when you have calcium on the leaf, you are giving that plant an additional boost of to its defense mechanism, because calcium is great in preventing disease, especially on the leaf. Dad might be a little bit mad on that one. Sorry. It's okay, we'll make it back in bushels. So, Score is as a micro pack designed for reproductive phase in the plant. And because of, again, the calcium, great against disease, awesome against disease pressure. Calcium in and of itself is very difficult to move through the plant from the soil. So a foliar application here, and if you pan across, Jerry, you can see we're just starting to shoot tassels. We're just ahead of shooting tassels, so we're right pre-tassel time. So it's a very critical growth phase for the plant, right as it's going to go into pollination. So the the most important pass you make is the planting time, obviously. But for crop production, probably the most, crop production and then protection going into this hot season. We've been catching some rains, and it's warm. So if we keep catching some rains like they're forecasting the next week, we could have some potential for some disease to creep in. Gray leaf spot, maybe a little bit of northern, depends on where you're at, depends on the type of residue that you have, depends on the past disease pressure that you had. So having that Score out on the leaf helps that plant protect itself against extra disease that could come in late season and rob away from yield. So 1, more roots; 2, disease, fighting against disease and helping that plant have the energy to suppress disease. And then 3 is kernel fill and maximizing kernel size and then test weight. And a good foliar, again, I talk about good foliars. You can check out the other videos when we talk about differences in foliar materials and then also the differences in delivery methods. But since we're in the field right now, I'm not going to take the time to discuss all of that. A properly placed foliar that works will help increase the size of your kernels or your beans and the quality of your forage, whatever it may be. I love turning while I'm on film. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm still working on my my brain power. I'll try not to run corn over this time.
It's a good video.
I know I'm not as fast as an airplane, but we've got really good coverage with this guy. Anyway, 1, roots, 2, disease suppression or eradication, and then 3, improving your test weight and improving your grain quality. So like for us specifically, we tend to store a fair amount of our grain on farm. I know not everybody does that, but you can still influence test weight with foliar by foliar feeding, especially at this time, pre-silk or pre-tassel, pre-pollination, and then at brown silk. You can drive extra energy into those kernels, supply that extra nitrogen, supply that extra phosphorus, supply those micronutrients that are needed at this stage, and then really increase the size of those kernels. Even if you put, you put 3%, 5%, 8, 13% more volume in every single kernel, that's where you get to flex yield, and that's where you influence extra yield. And that's how you get foliar feeding to pay. A lot of guys have tried foliar feeding in the past, once, maybe twice, and go, oh, it didn't do me any good. Well, you probably didn't have your delivery method right. You probably weren't using the right materials. So that's the video today. That's why we're out here foliar feeding 10-foot tall corn. So stay tuned. We're going to be shooting some more video.